Hello, and welcome to English for Everyone, where we practice real-life American English. And today we're going to learn a great expression, so let's get started. Today we're learning this expression, a snowball's chance. The complete expression is a snowball's chance in hell, but we use it in different ways. Let's take a closer look. This is a snowball. It's a ball made of snow. And this is hell. So, does a snowball have a good chance in hell? No, it doesn't. It's going to melt very quickly. So if I say you have a snowball's chance in hell, that means you have no chance. But people also use it in the negative form, and they say you don't have a snowball's chance in hell. It means the same thing. You don't have a chance. And sometimes people don't use in hell, and they just say you don't have a snowball's chance. It means the same thing. You have no chance. Or if someone says if we have a snowball's chance in hell, that means if we have just the smallest chance. If I use if, that's what it means. If we have a snowball's chance, or more complete, if we have a snowball's chance in hell, that's a condition saying if we have the smallest chance. Let's hear some examples.
You don't have a snowball's chance in hell, we're in that thing.
If we got a snowball's chance, we gotta take it, right?
Because I need to know if we have a snowball's chance in hell of winning this thing.
But if we ain't, if there's a snowball of a snowball's chance here.
You fight Sador, and you've got a snowball's chance in hell.
There wasn't a snowball's chance in hell that I was going to let someone take advantage of you.
Hey, we don't have a snowball's chance in hell of getting a sales budget under these conditions.
Example. The little guy has no chance of winning a fight. So I can say, he has a snowball's chance in hell of winning a fight. Or I can make it negative and say he doesn't. He doesn't have a snowball's chance in hell of winning a fight. People say both, but the negative form is more common, so we're going to practice with the negative form. He doesn't. He doesn't have a snowball's chance. Remember, I can say it short. I don't have to say in hell. He doesn't have a snowball's chance. Or more complete, he doesn't have a snowball's chance in hell of winning the fight. He has no chance. That's the idea. Let's practice. Does he have a snowball's chance of winning the fight? That's right. He doesn't have a snowball's chance of winning the fight. Does he have a snowball's chance in hell of winning the fight? That's right. He doesn't have a snowball's chance in hell of winning a fight. The big guy is going to win. The little guy is going to lose. The little guy has no chance. He has no chance of beating the big guy. Let's practice with beating. Does he have a snowball's chance in hell of beating the big guy? That's right. He doesn't have a snowball's chance in hell of beating the big guy. Today we're learning this expression, pie in the sky. And what does it mean? It means when someone has unrealistic dreams. Their dreams are not realistic. They're pie in the sky dreams. Let's hear some examples.
When he first heard the term pie in the sky, he volunteered for the 82nd Airborne.
They sold you on some pie in the sky in vitro treatment, right? Am I right?
Yeah, that was his last dream, Mr. Pie in the Sky.
Example. He has a dream of buying cryptocurrency. He has a dream of getting rich and becoming a millionaire by buying cryptocurrency. I think this idea is very unrealistic, so I can call it a pie in the sky idea, or pie in the sky dreams. Example, he's got some pie in the sky dream of getting rich. Let's practice. Does he have some pie in the sky dream of getting rich? That's right, he has some pie in the sky dream of getting rich. So remember, if you hear the phrase pie in the sky, someone is referring to unrealistic dreams. Dreams that are not realistic. That's what it refers to. We're learning the expression, no rhyme or reason. In a complete sentence, there's no rhyme or reason to it. It means there's no pattern. Everything is in a random order. It's like it doesn't make sense. We say there's no rhyme or reason to it. We see the word rhyme has a long I sound, like time and mine. Rhyme. There's no rhyme or reason to it. We use the preposition to. There's no rhyme or reason to it. And we pronounce the to with a long oo, to it. There's no rhyme or reason to it. There's no order. There's no pattern. It doesn't make sense. Let's hear some examples.
You know, there's not like a rhyme or a reason to it. It just...
You know, there's no rhyme or reason to your plan. You're like...
Just no rhyme or reason to it.
No rhyme or reason to it, Frenchie, so don't waste gray matter trying to figure that one out.
There's no rhyme or reason to this game.
What if we're just a bunch of absurd people who are running around with no rhyme or reason?
Example. The boss is giving a speech in a meeting, but he's just talking and talking, and there's no order, there's no pattern to his ideas. It's not clear what he's talking about. He's just talking about random things in no order. So there's no rhyme or reason to it. Talking about his speech. There's no rhyme or reason to it. He's not making sense. Let's practice. Let's talk about the boss's speech. Is there any rhyme or reason to it? That's right. There's no rhyme or reason to it. It doesn't make sense. Today we're learning this expression, go belly up. In the present, go. In the past, went. Went belly up. And what does it mean? It means to fail totally, especially when talking about companies or businesses. Example, his company went belly up. It failed completely. His company went belly up. And why do we say this? Well, this is my belly. And when an animal dies, like this in a cartoon, his belly goes up. The animal dies, and the belly is up. But we don't say this about animals. If an animal dies, we don't say the animal went belly up. I guess you could, people would understand you, but we don't use it like this. We use it for companies and businesses. Let's hear some examples.
18 months later, nature boys go belly up, can't pay the taxes,
And we might go belly up.
Okay, so not only do 2 mortgage hedge funds backed by Bear Stearns go belly up, but now there's a class action lawsuit against Bear.
From a North Pole theme park that went belly up.
Business license for a biodiesel factory that went belly up.
The business went belly up about a year ago.
Packard sawmill is going to go belly up within a year.
Sleeps on an air mattress, has to borrow money from a kid to start a business that's about to go belly up.
Example, this is Braniff Airlines. Or I should say this was Braniff Airlines. Have you ever heard of Braniff Airlines? No, you haven't, because it went belly up. It went bankrupt. It failed completely. There is no more Braniff Airlines, because it went belly up. Let's practice. What happened to Braniff Airlines? Did it go belly up? That's right, Braniff Airlines went belly up. And his company went belly up too. Let's practice. Did his company go belly up? That's right, his company went belly up. It failed completely. So remember the expression, go belly up. In the past, went belly up. It's used primarily to talk about companies or businesses that fail completely, that go bankrupt. They go belly up. First, we're looking at these 2 words, often and soften. With both words, the T is silent. Kind of. Let's take a closer look. First, let's talk about soften. Soften is a verb. It means to make something soft. And with the word soft, we pronounce the T, soft. But with soften, we do not pronounce the T. Never pronounce the T in the word soften. With the verb soften, the T is always silent. Now let's look at the expression soften the blow. What does it mean to soften the blow? Well, first let's talk about blow. This is not the verb blow. This is the noun blow. The noun blow means a hit. A blow is a hit. So if I say soften the blow, that means to make the hit softer. But what are we talking about? What is the hit? Well, when you give someone bad news, you want to soften the blow. You want to do something or say something to make the bad news not so bad. To make it less. To make it less harsh. What is harsh? Example, if I break up with someone and I say, I'm breaking up with you, it's over, that's it. Well, that's harsh. You need to soften the blow and say something nice so it's not so harsh. You want to make it softer. That's when we use the expression soften the blow. Let's hear some examples of the expression soften the blow.
We should do it someplace fun to soften the blow.
I text before calling if you don't need to soften the blow.
I need to soften the blow to the NRA before we go public.
A suit should help soften the blow.
I thought it would soften the blow.
That'd have been a good time for you to soften the blow. Did I soften the blow too much?
Example, he broke up with her, but to soften the blow, he took her to her favorite restaurant. To make it less harsh, he took her to her favorite restaurant to soften the blow. The blow, the bad news, he's breaking up with her. But he took her to her favorite restaurant to make it less harsh, to soften the blow. But it didn't really work. She's really upset. It didn't soften the blow. So, example, he broke up with her. He ended their relationship. That's the phrasal verb break up in the past, broke up. He broke up with her. He ended their relationship. But he wanted to soften the blow, so he took her to her favorite restaurant. Let's practice. Why did he take her to her favorite restaurant? Did he want to soften the blow? That's right, he wanted to soften the blow because he broke up with her. And what do you think? Did it work? Did it soften the blow? That's right, it didn't soften the blow. It didn't work. She got upset. It didn't make the situation better. It didn't soften the blow. Today we're learning this expression, a rough patch. And what is it? It's a temporary, difficult time, usually for a short time. It's called a rough patch. Pronunciation, use the short like cup and up, rough, plus the F sound, like flowers, rough. A rough patch. Use the short A sound like black cat, patch. Plus the ch, like in chicken. Patch. It's called a rough patch, and it's a temporary, difficult time, usually for a short time. Let's take a closer look. First, let's talk about rough. Rough is the opposite of smooth. The stone on the right is smooth. It almost looks like an egg. It's so smooth. But the stone on the left is not smooth. It's rough. The texture is rough, not smooth. Let's practice. Is the stone on the right smooth or rough? That's right, the stone on the right is smooth. And what about the stone on the left? Is it smooth or rough? That's right, the stone on the left is rough. It's very rough. Another example, if you have a bad day, you can say you had a rough day because it wasn't smooth. It was difficult. It was rough. Example, she had a rough day. Many things went wrong. She had a lot of problems that day, so I can say she had a rough day. Let's practice. Did she have a rough day? That's right, she had a rough day. It was difficult. We use the word rough. Now let's talk about this word, patch. What is a patch? A patch is a small area that is different from what is around it. For example, this is a patch of ice. It's a small area of ice that doesn't have ice around it, so it's different from what is around it. This is a patch of ice. And he slipped on the patch of ice. Remember, slip in the past, slipped. He slipped on the patch of ice. Let's practice. Did he slip on the patch of ice? That's right, he slipped on the patch of ice. Now let's talk about these patches. If you get holes in your shirt, you can cover the holes with patches. 1 patch and 2 patches. The shirt has 3 patches on it. It's also a verb. When you cover a hole with a patch, you can say you patch the hole. It's the verb to. So he patched the holes with patches. And now the shirt has patches on it. Let's practice. Does the shirt have patches on it? That's right, the shirt has patches on it. It has 3 patches on it. Did he patch the holes with patches? That's right, he patched the holes with patches. 3 patches. There must have been 3 holes. So now we see why we say the expression a rough patch is a short, difficult time. Rough can mean difficult, and a patch can be an area that's different from what is around it. So the idea is everything was smooth before, and it's difficult now, but it'll be smooth in the future. It's just difficult right now. It's a rough patch. Now let's talk about the verbs we use. You can use the verb hit. You hit a rough patch. In the past, hit. You hit a rough patch. Or I can use present perfect and say you've. You have, together, you've. You've hit a rough patch. We normally use the past verb, hit a rough patch, or present perfect, you've hit a rough patch. Let's hear some examples of hit a rough patch.
You just hit a rough patch.
Look, I hit a rough patch.
What my parents did when they hit a rough patch, and it worked for them.
I hit a rough patch.
I'm sorry, I know you've hit a rough patch.
She's hit a rough patch with her mother.
We can also say go through. You can go through a rough patch. Go in the present, in the past, went. Or maybe right now, he's going through a rough patch. You can use the continuous action. He's having a difficult time right now. He's going through a rough patch. Let's hear some examples.
You've been going through a rough patch and just need someone to talk to.
Well, hey, I'm obviously going through a rough patch here.
So I gather you and Donna are going through a rough patch.
It's just the one of going through a rough patch.
But I'll confess, I am going through a rough patch.
Oh, yeah, we went through a rough patch, but we're back together now and things are better than ever.
But it kind of depressed me. Everybody had treated me like a pariah just because I went through a rough patch.
Well, Mickey and I went through a rough patch for a while, but...
I mean, he got caught, but a lot of people do a little creative accounting to get past a rough patch. You never do.
We can also say a bit of a rough patch. Not a little bit of a rough patch, but a bit of a rough patch. It's to emphasize that it's for a short time. You can hit a bit of a rough patch. You can go through a bit of a rough patch. Let's hear some examples.
She and my dad are going through a bit of a rough patch, so wanted to do something to let her know I was thinking about her.
I don't mind telling you, I'm going through a bit of a rough patch.
I've hit a bit of a rough patch.
Yeah, just going through a bit of a rough patch.
Yeah, well, you've hit a bit of a rough patch, but we'll be okay.
Jeff's hit a bit of a rough patch, but he's got a big interview tomorrow.
Well, I am going through a bit of a rough patch, but I try not to think about it too much.
It's the business. Yeah, we've hit a bit of a rough patch.
Bit of a rough patch, and it makes me sad.
Example. This is a married couple. They are married, and they're having problems. But it's only right now, so I can use the expression, a rough patch. Example, they hit a rough patch. Or to emphasize, they hit a bit of a rough patch. I can say go through, in the moment, going. They are, contraction, they're going through a rough patch. Or I can say they're going through a bit of a rough patch. They're having a difficult time, for a short time. Let's practice. Did they hit a rough patch? That's right, they hit a rough patch. I can use present perfect and say they've. They have, together, they've. They've hit a bit of a rough patch. Let's practice. Have they hit a bit of a rough patch? That's right, they've hit a bit of a rough patch. Now let's practice with going through. Are they going through a rough patch right now? That's right, they're going through a rough patch right now. Are they going through a bit of a rough patch? That's right, they're going through a bit of a rough patch. They're having a difficult time right now. But it'll be better in the future. That's the idea. So remember the expression, a rough patch. You can hit a rough patch, you can go through a rough patch, and remember where it comes from. Rough is not smooth, it can be difficult, it's rough, and a patch is an area that's different from what's around it, and we use it in many different situations. But together, a rough patch means a difficult time, for a short time. Thank you for watching, and if you like this video, subscribe to our channel. And if you want to become a member, click the join button. And we'll see you next time.